you?
Hi, Samantha. Good to be here. Thanks for having me on your show.
Oh, well, this is our second episode of our Spotlight series brought to you by the National Inventors Club and, of course, Inventor Smart Community. So it's been my pleasure to kind of head up these podcasts. And when I saw you're on the schedule, I was like, let's do this. I'm always excited to see and speak with you. And I love your product. So I think it's just really smart. I'm a dog mom myself, and I know that you are as well. And speaking of, he is on the couch. He's sleeping right now. But like I said, that can change at any moment. So we'll just get through all of that. So first and foremost, again, welcome. Thanks for being a premium subscriber to the Inventor Smart Community. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes. But I want you to tell our audience exactly what your product is and how you came up with the idea and where you're at now. So I'll give you the floor for just a moment.
Yeah, thank you. So the product I came up with is called Spleash. It's a spray leash handle. So it's meant to turn any leash into a water bottle and bowl, essentially. I have one right here. You fill it up with 12 ounces of water, fresh water. Attach it to any standard size leash. So it doesn't come with a leash standard, but you can buy one as an option if you're not sure your leash will fit. But any standard size rope, leather, or nylon leash fits into this leash. You pop it in. Comes the handle, fill it with water, and then if you're out on a walk and an off-leash animal's coming up at you, sort of aim for their face, and that little bit of water can be a great deterrent for them. They'll shake their head, change direction. You can clean off their paws by squirting their paws clean, but the best thing is it has this flip-open cup, and you can squeeze water in for a quick sip if you're out on a hike, and if they need a big bowl of water, then you pull the plug open and it will fill the whole thing up without overflowing. So you give them a good drink while they're out on their hikes and walks. So
that is so smart. So not only does it have a reservoir for water and a little cup section so you can water your dog while you're out, there's also a spray option too. And I use water spray for training, especially when Mila was younger, not so much now. But I always found that was a great deterrent as well. So you're saying that's a two-in-one, a water reservoir to thirst your dog, and then a little spray action in case you are approached by another animal, and you can just do a couple little water skirts just to kind of keep them back. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
And when did you come up with this idea, and how long have you been working on this?
I had the idea in late 2018. And,
okay.
I literally thought when the idea sparked, because let's see if she's back here. The inspiration for the product is over on that couch. She's black and kind of blending in there. But our black lab Weimaraner Lola, she's 95 pounds of pure energy.
Oh, wow.
And we live in Southern California. So I was constantly getting a few blocks away and then realizing I forgot the water. And when you do have a darker colored dog living in hot conditions, sure, you really should bring water every time. So I got a couple blocks away and I forgot the water again. So one day I had one of those solutions that was available on the market, which you squeeze it and it fills up a little bowl at the top, and I would squeeze the water up, and she was laying under a tree sort of panting, and I was trying to cool her down. So I just tossed the water on her from the cup that I filled up. And I thought, well, if you could really direct this water a little better, it would be really handy. I'm sure you could clean up messes on the sidewalk, and if the poop bag breaks, and all of these things started going through my head that you could use a spray feature on the end of a dog leash. And I thought, well, I'll just go home and buy it because I thought it existed. And I was 20, 30 pages deep on Google, same with Amazon, couldn't find anything like it. And I thought, okay, there's just no way I've thought of something that doesn't already exist. Let's keep researching. And that's when I decided to go for it. And in March of 2019, we formed the company. So we just had our 5th anniversary. So we've had Spleash as an idea and then in the market now for the last couple of years. And it's been just an amazing journey full of adventure and learning.
Of course, full of adventures and learning. So speaking of, what were some of your biggest challenges like early on? And of course, some of your biggest triumphs and your successes?
Yeah, so there's been lots of challenges. I'm sure everybody that was trying to launch a product in 2020 had the same challenges that I did. And that was just, bad timing for all of us. So communicating, our factory is actually in Taiwan, and a lot of everything changed after that.
Of course,
the shipping cost, the plastic cost, the fuel, all of those things. So that's been challenging. But really trying to perfect the product to make it really leak proof, to make it work for the most people. And we've gone around and around with various people who they think it's a retractable leash. It does look a lot like a retractable leash when you're walking or you show it to somebody. Oh, I don't use retractable leashes. So that's been a challenge that we've had to deal with all along.
Now, let me jump in there. Was that an unexpected challenge that you were going to have to reteach the consumer that was not expected for you?
Well, yeah, I thought with clear messaging, with clear imagery, we could show that it's not a retractable, that this is a water reservoir. And that's been a lot more challenging than I had anticipated originally. And, when we're at a trade show, you can see the people who don't like retractable leashes a mile away, because they'll sort of glance over, they'll give it I'm trying to figure out what this product is. And then when they sort of do, they won't look at you again, and they'll keep walking. And I usually shout out, "It's not retractable." And like almost 100% of the people are like, "Really? It's not?" And they'll come over and ask, "Well, what is it then?" And when you explain that this is actually the entire water reservoir, that there's no, leash inside, and it'll fit on any standard size leash, that's when they're blown away and they get it.
Got it. I think this is a great topic and a question, because these are these unexpected marketing things and messaging, like you just said, that you weren't really prepared for. Because sometimes as inventors, we know our product in and out. We know everything about it, but how it's perceived and how the consumer, because we're all visual, right? So the visual is telling them right away, this is a retractable. But that's interesting as an inventor, that you have to see that very quickly so that you can change your messaging to satisfy that visual effect that the consumer is going to have right away. Yeah. So obviously you've been doing this for a while, and I love this too, because even in the April's newsletter, Brian talks about the process of this and how long this takes, and to be patient and take your setbacks as they come and take your triumphs. So I know you've had some successes. Obviously, you've been selling for a moment. So what is that biggest success that you like to brag about, that you feel as an inventor that I've made this? This is amazing.
Yeah, there's a couple. I'm happy to say there's been a couple of those moments. I'm really excited about one that will be revealed later in the year. I'm not allowed to talk about it yet, but some really great things to look forward to. So keep an eye on us in the late fall.
Nice.
But we were we got Spleash on the Today Show, which was a really big deal for us.
That's huge. That's amazing.
That was a lot of fun to see Hoda and Jenna playing with it and talking about how much they loved it and squirting each other with it was pretty amazing. My daughter and I were jumping up and down like while we were watching it here, just really excited.
Aww. That gets me a little emotional. What a wonderful moment for you and your daughter, and all the hard work and dedication that it really does take to put a product together. Yeah. So obviously you're a member of the Inventor Smart Community. You're a premium member, and we appreciate that. And we know we put a small value, financial value, on being a premium member. It's $9.99 a month or $99 for the year. So tell me a little bit. how this community has benefited you as an inventor in personally building relationships with Brian and the other community members. How has that affected you in this journey?
It's been a tremendous resource. I can't state enough. Like, I wish I would have found this in 2018 versus I think I learned about it in like late 2020. I can't remember exactly when I signed up, but Brian's expertise is phenomenal, and the guests that he lines up to speak on the monthly meetings are so full of amazing tips and learnings and pitfalls to avoid. And I have really just sort of tried to be a sponge and absorb all of the content that he's putting out there, because he does have a tremendous amount of experience, and all of the people that he brings on the show have such important messages to share with inventors to help us avoid mistakes, essentially.
Yes.
So, and as far as determining which path you're going to go down, like I just said, there's, I wish maybe I would have been a little bit earlier in the journey along with the National Inventor Club, because who knows which way I would have chosen to go with Spleash at that time. But the exactly laying out all of the ways that you can go as an inventor, whether you choose the licensing path or you decide to go and manufacture it yourself, there's a lot behind each one of those topics that you need to be aware of and plan for appropriately. Right. And it's a very trusted source of information, because in today's world, there's a lot of people out there that are kind of, a little sketchy on some of the advice they give, or the experience they have has been a little bit, but it looks like it's a ton. And it just is really nice to have a community that he's built full of like-minded people who are going through the same sort of struggles, and it's information you can trust.
Well, I like what you just said. You started in 2018, but you didn't become a member until 2020. But now and then once you've found the club, you can see the like-mindedness, the collaboration together, all these different inventors that are all going through the similar path, similar journey. Who do you trust? Where do I get this information? So I know for me, I agree with you. I wish I would have found Brian. Well, I kind of almost did right when I started, and I feel so blessed and lucky for that, to avoid those pitfalls, to avoid all the other outside noise. I really wanted to be around somebody that I could trust. And I think building this community has just been so much fun and so rewarding, and hooking up and catching up with all these different inventors at different stages. We're getting together at different events. We're meeting personally, because we're all kind of going through the same thing. And especially that first 2 years, oh man, wouldn't it have been nice to have this additional guidance that you have now? Like you mentioned, this guest speakers, so much information that's just vital. It's almost even overwhelming sometimes, but thank God everything's recorded. You can always go back and listen to it. I do that a lot myself. So I'm just so happy to have you featured on our spotlight. I think you've definitely earned it. You've worked so hard. You've got some successes with the Today Show. Kerry, that is really incredible. And I know you're holding on to something else, and we'll get to that later, and you'll share it with all of us in the community. And I think, too, that's kind of inspirational to other people to listen to kind of, what some of your setbacks were, what some of your challenges, and equally there's success there. So you've kind of got to go through some of the setback and the challenges to kind of get on the other side of it. And I love it that we're building this community to share with one another, and it's an inspiration. I just got my second patent design, and I never even thought I'd have one, let alone two. And it's definitely been the guidance and being around everybody that's helped this journey along for myself as well. Yeah. So what's next? What are we doing next besides what you can't tell us right away?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I have about 5 different ideas that have been percolating. One of them since my daughter was 1.5 years old, and she's 26 now. So
oh, wow.
I've been sitting on this idea for so long. I went to a patent attorney right then, and I just didn't have the money to move it forward. Now I understand exactly what's involved, the finances and everything. So I'm really looking forward to, bringing enough money in with Spleash to start really building out some more products. Some will be in the pet space and some not, but I'm just looking forward to continuing this journey, and with the guidance and support of all the fellow members in the National Inventor Club and the Inventor Smart Community, and with Brian's help. He's just phenomenal to bounce different questions off and, take the temperature on, am I on the right track? Am I thinking about this the right way? It's really nice to have a trusted source to do that with.
As VP of Community, I've been honored and selected for that role. And I talk to so many inventors that are a part of the community. And one consistent message that I love so much. Brian is a friend of mine, so it warms my heart every single time that people are saying the exact same thing about him every single time. It doesn't vary off. And I think that's so important as young inventors or seasoned inventors like yourself. We're still looking for that trustability, that to collaborate with, to, again, in the newsletter this month, there's a little section that says, don't do it alone. And that is the premise of having this group and everybody connecting and getting together. And, Brian at the lead and a few of us behind the scenes. So I think it's great. So proud of you, Kerry, and this product. And you sell on Amazon, I know, and you've got your own website. What's your website?
Spleash.com.
It's Spleash, Spleash.
Yes.
Spleash.com. And you're offering 20% off on the code is NIC20.
Yes.
Which I love that. That's generous of you. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right.
Happy to help out any fellow dog lovers out there who like hiking and adventuring with their pet, but don't like the hassle of dealing with the collapsible water bottles and bowls. It's a wonderful community that has been established, and I highly recommend any other inventors out there who are sort of feeling their way around in the dark to, turn on the lights with the National Inventors.
That's a great one. Just turn the light on. We're here. We're welcoming you. And we appreciate you being a premium member because it does support this app and the community and everything that Brian is putting together. So it's really incredible. And I appreciate your investment into that as well. There's a lot of investments to be made in inventing. We can't be afraid of it or shy of it. You just kind of got to dive into it. So. Yeah. Fantastic. Well, I don't want to keep you any longer. Thank you for being part of episode 2 of the Spotlight series. And I hope to see you this year at one of our events. Keep an eye on the newsletter and stay active within the app. And please keep us informed of everything that you want to share, hints of your new products, lines, or whatever it is you want to share. Just let us know so we can continue to cheer you on and support you. And of course, we do the same as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Samantha. I'm really looking forward to the rest of how this year unfolds. And
me too.
Sharing all kinds of news later.
I know, me too. I can't wait as well. All right, I'll see you at the next National Inventor Club meeting. And I'll see you in the app as well. Sounds good?
Sounds great.
All right, Kerry, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye.